Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 with me, Dan, and the Slothz team as we get underway with quite possibly the worst race of the entire season. That is, of course, Hungary. For now, though, we've got to figure out what we want to do with our teammate, Théo Pourchaire, and I think we're going to go with the low-risk option here, just because we need to keep him around long enough for the end of the season. And he successfully signed with us again. Get some activities underway. Team acclaim being an important thing because we want a fourth sponsor at some point to be able to buy all of these lovely factory upgrades, including Spec 2 at last for the chassis department. That's something that we've desperately needed for quite some time. Anyway, over to the race, which is going to be a wet one and not very interesting, which is why I'm just going to make it quite short and just provide a few channel updates along the way. For now, on with the practice session, which of course went about as badly as you would expect it to for Hungary, only picking up, what was that, maybe 1 or 2 upgrades there. Oh, there we go, we get some more resource points at the end of P1, and then over to P2 to get as many more of these resource points as we can, because we are losing the development war at the moment between us and the rest of the midfield. Certainly the bottom back markers are clawing their way up. Ever so slowly, they are doing it. They aren't able to overtake us, but Théo Pourchaire is definitely struggling further back, given that he doesn't have quite the level of skill as some of the other drivers on the grid. He will, of course, be going at the end of this season, but he gets one more chance to try and impress, much like our teammate did on F1 2021, when that was the main feature of the channel. Anyway, there we go. We've got all of the resource points. Just a quick skim through, we get another rear downforce discount, and that will be it. Well then, it's over to Hungary, a circuit which I've never particularly done very well at, or liked at all, in all fairness. And to make things even worse, it's going to be an absolute pisser of a race, full wets all the way through, so it's not going to be the most interesting. Not only that, but once again, we don't have any audio, thanks to that mess up I had before. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you know when some more interesting races have been uploaded. And we'll get on with the starting grid for this waste of space Grand Prix, and we've got Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc leading the pack away from the front row. Behind them we have Norris's teammate Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Further back we have George Russell, he's alongside the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. And then on the penultimate row of the top 10 we have Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll, and finally it is Pierre Gasly and me. We actually qualified quite well there, considering where we are, on a dry setup as well. Oscar Piastri lines up behind us alongside Carlos Sainz, our championship rival. Then we have Alex Albon and Esteban Ocon. Behind them we have Kevin Magnussen. He lines up alongside the other Alpha Tauri of Yuki Tsunoda. Daniel Ricciardo lines up alongside Mick Schumacher. On the penultimate row of the grid, we have Nicholas Latifi out-qualifying someone with Robert Schwartzman alongside him. And at the back, it's Zhou Guanyu and Théo Pourchaire. Well, here we go then with the start of the Grand Prix. We are P10 at the moment, just clinging on to a singular point. Unfortunately, as you can see, with the weather being the way it is, and the fact that I put a dry setup on because I thought that I knew best, that's pretty much where we're going to finish. So it's just a case of Fernando Alonsoing our way around here like he did in Monaco, and just basically getting in everyone's way. As for my team career, it seems to be going a hell of a lot better than it did last time. So we will be going all the way to the end. And at time of recording, I have just finished Season 2. And I'm preparing Season 3 now. The good news is, for Season 3, we'll be mixing things up. I'm going to try some mods for the first time. I'm actually going to try going for some skins to make the other cars look a little bit more interesting than they do and I've always done on my channel, and also mix things up a bit by downloading a My Team skin as well as I go flying over a sausage curb there in treacherous fashion. So yes, there will be a full team makeover coming for Season 3. A new teammate coming for Season 3 as well. Not the person I hoped I would have got. Neither of these two are actually anybody that I would normally have gone for. But I decided to go for this particular person because, well, he was the best level driver that would accept the quality of my team in terms of facility upgrades. The person that I did want to join coincidentally became the world champion, but didn't like the fact that my marketing department wasn't really good enough. A bit weird, but you know, we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so that's all set up, and I've got all of the mods ready to go. I just need to download them all, chuck them into the game files, and then just hope that nothing breaks, and then we'll be away. As for this race, as you can see, lap 3, no DRS because of the rain. And Carlos Sainz is harassing the back of my car trying to get past, as is Pierre Gasly and a good 12 other drivers, come to think of it, because I am going incredibly slow. This was something interesting that happened. Lewis Hamilton, coming down to turn 2 here, actually forgets how to drive around at Hungary and spins his car around right in the middle of the track. His teammate gets through, and everyone decides to pile up behind him. Unfortunately, by this point, as you can see, I'm about 9 seconds behind Esteban Ocon, primarily due to the fact that I've got a dry setup on and it's in the wet, which I'm not the best at. That being said, the next race is going to be sort of wet, and we don't do too badly there. I think it was just the setup. There's Oscar Piastri, unfortunately retiring from the race and making an effort to hit every single car around him as he pulls off to the side of the track. We are now 20 seconds behind Esteban Ocon as we come round onto the pit straight. That's now extended to 23 seconds as Carlos Sainz has a look up the inside. The two AlphaTauris are also going to be interested in taking advantage of this. There they go into formation behind us. Down towards turn 1 we go. We're going to go to the outside there as the AlphaTauri start battling. We cut one of them up as we swing across the circuit and go up the inside of Carlos Sainz, managing to get P10 back. This is an absolutely ferocious battle going on here, and a track that I will absolutely never put on the calendar again. The only reason it is on the calendar this time is because I made a mistake because of the stupid button layout that they have in this game. When you're selecting tracks, for some reason A is advance instead of select the track that I want. And that was how I ended up advancing through and just getting the same season as Season 1. Not for Season 3, I did actually fix it, so now we've got different tracks and ones that I actually enjoy for half of the season. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to using all of the skins. Some of them absolutely ridiculous, some of them actually pretty awesome. And hopefully the one that I've got that I'm putting on won't completely destroy all of the game files entirely, so I'll be backing up the saves just in case. But for anybody interested in modding their game, you can actually go over to the race department and download something called modular mods, which allows you to just drop files in and out of a particular mod folder, and you can just take them out if you want to go online. Just copy them somewhere else, load up the game, you can play online, and then load it back up again with the mods files in their place and carry on playing. Quite an interesting thing, because although I don't really play online much anymore, it is nice to have the option there. All the same. Anyway, we're coming round the final few corners now of the final lap. I said it was a short race. Literally nothing happened, and I'm 32 seconds behind Esteban Ocon. But thankfully, we are going to pick up a point, which is quite handy. It's not like Monaco. And we're going to come around the final corner, and we cross the line. There it is. And pick up that singular point. Carlos Sainz probably pretty unhappy about that being held up for that long, as are the two AlphaTauris. That said, there's a Williams that just went past me. Robert Schwartzman picks up driver of the day as well. Lando Norris picks up the win. There's George Russell, who'll be joining him on the podium. I just caught a Ferrari jacket off the side of my screen, which presumably means that Charles Leclerc is up there as well. Talking of all these little animations and things, I'm doing away with all the crap that I have at the beginning of these videos, starting from season 3. It's just too much work, and I've just got no time to do it. I don't really think many people actually watch that part of the video anyway, so it's not really that important. Plus, with the modded saves coming along, it's going to make things a little bit tricky having that. Anyway, over to the race results. Of course, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc and George Russell are the podium finishers for this race, followed by Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and me, Radiant Slothz. So over in the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc actually moves up to first ahead of Max Verstappen. Fernando Alonso drops down equal with him. Then we have George Russell, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, me, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, and Esteban Ocon. Further down the order, we have Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Nicholas Latifi, Teo Pourchaire, Kevin Magnussen, Robert Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, and Zhou Guanyu. And over in the Constructors, McLaren take the top of the table ahead of Red Bull. Then we have Ferrari, Mercedes, Slothz, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Williams, Haas, Alfa Romeo, and finally Aston Martin. We'll catch you next time for Belgium.